Hey, epic brothers and sisters of the PC Master Race and beyond. This is Soulless121 of Real Hub Reviews, and today we are looking at the MSI GTX 1080 Gaming X. Not the Z edition, but the X edition, and definitely what I want for Christmas. On average, you will only be paying an extra $20 for the MSI Gaming X edition of the GeForce GTX 1080. With that, you get a lot of great features like a great factory overclock, a pile of accessories, and a great cooling option. So let's check all those out right now. The packaging definitely follows MSI's usual packaging scheme, with looking the same on almost all their gaming lines, just with a picture of the GTX 1080 itself. The back of the packaging does include a lot of fine details that will definitely give you an informed decision to make sure that you pick the right card for yourself. Now we come to one of the most lacking parts of this GPU, the accessories, because there aren't any really. You get an install manual, some stickers, and a driver disc. That's it. You don't get any video adapters, power adapters, or anything of that sort. And if that's the only thing you have to complain about with your GPU, you definitely have nothing to complain about, because most of these accessories just get thrown in a drawer somewhere and are never used. Now we enter the realm of things that definitely separate the MSI models from the rest of the pack. The cooler. The Frozer design has been out for quite some time now, and MSI has done nothing but make this better and better. With the new Frozer design, they promise a cooler running GPU, as well as much quieter than the previous generations. As you can see, it has a great thermal armor as well as an unbelievably beautiful looking backplate. MSI did not hold back under the hood. You can check out that they put in a 10-phase power management system that consists of only military-grade high C caps. This is absolutely awesome, as they've done nothing but gone with the overkill option here. Over the stock, this is going to give you much more years of high-end performance with a lot less issues in the long run. MSI, you did a great job here. 4 ports, MSI's thrown in an HDMI 2.0 port, 1 DVI port, and 3 DisplayPort 1.4s. These are great to have, as it basically covers you on any new option, and if you're going to be running a system like this, with a GPU like this, chances are you don't need VGA no more. Before we jump into the individual benchmarks, let's jump into the overall and just give you a straight over TLDR of what the GTX 1080 actually was able to achieve. The MSI GTX 1080 Gaming X Edition was able to get about a 4% to 4.5% increase on average games across the board over the reference 1080, and a 31% increase over the previous 980 Ti gaming editions, and about a 25% increase over MSI's old top of the pack 980 Ti Lightning Edition. But the TLDR doesn't end there. At the 1440p range, which is what I game on myself, we noticed an even higher increase. Over the reference 1080, we got a 6.2% increase. Over the MSI Gaming 980 Ti edition, we got a 39% increase. And over the previous top of the pack, MSI 980 Ti Lightning, we saw a 29.8% increase. Across the board, this card is a hands down winner and is definitely the right choice for most gamers. First on our individual game testing, we have 1080p ultra settings of The Witcher 3. We noticed that we did not drop below that 60 frames per second at any point in time, with our lowest frames per second sitting at about 87 and our highest at 108. This is absolutely impressive compared to the previous generations, and with the 1440 sitting at 87 on the average and 74 on the minimum, again never dropping below that sweet buttery smooth 60 frames per second. Moving on to Crysis 3 with the Ultra preset and everything cranked up and turning off VSync, we get 115 frames per second on the average on the high setting and 68 on the very minimum. This is absolutely awesome, as it keeps the game running buttery smooth. With 1440p, we see 68.77 as our average, and sadly we drop below 60 to 45 on the very minimum, keeping the game very playable and very comfortable at that ultra beautiful look. Now we move on to a new game in our library, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Many people are calling this the flop of 2016, but I still believe that belongs to No Man's Sky. At 1080p, 127 frames per second is the average and 99 is the low. When we move up to 1440p, 105 is the average, with 79 is the low. Again, this is covering us for that above 60 frames per second and keeps a beautiful look throughout the game. For our last stock game test, we have Battlefield 4, which will very soon be replaced with Battlefield 1 on our list. On 1080p maximum preset, we are getting 147 as the average frames per second with 97 as the low. This keeps the game running very nice and actually does look great. When it comes to 1440p, 94 seems to be the average, which again is absolutely great with 39 as our lows. This is not terrible, but if you're running a 120Hz monitor, you're going to start to notice a little bit of hesitations here and there, and you may want to lower your resolution or your details just a little bit. When it comes to temperature, the new twin frozer design does not disappoint, with over 10 degrees Celsius colder than the stock 1080. MSI has not failed us here, running at about 72 degrees on high and 38 degrees on idle. No complaints here. Now we jump into noise. The new twin frozer design definitely dropped the noise by quite a bit more than the previous models. We're dropping the noise down another 5 decibels over the stock GTX 1080. This is great, as well as the fact that on idle, it makes zero noise at all because the fans don't spin in any way, shape, or form, is a great feature that we like to see on many cards. Though the MSI Gaming X GTX 1080 is on the very top of our chart for the highest power usage of any card we've tested to date, it actually isn't that bad. Considering it's got an extra 6 pin in it allowing an extra 75 watts of power, it only consumes an extra 23 watts over the stock card. And for all that added performance you get, you really can't complain. But if you're going to consider the GTX 1080, definitely consider a very worthwhile platinum or gold power supply. In closing, the MSI GTX 1080 Gaming X is an absolutely fantastic card which has earned 2 of our greatest awards, our Excellence Award and our Hardcore Award. For the fact this only costs $20 over the stock GTX 1080, this is an absolutely fantastic value. If you wish to find out more about this card, make sure to check out the full review at Real Hardware Reviews. If you're checking this video there, make sure to keep reading and click those next buttons to see the overclocking results and a lot of other very impressive results that we got with this card. Thank you, I am Solus121 with Real Hardware Reviews signing out, and have an epic holiday.